This is the world that you know.
Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing hoochie screaming.
Sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage on instinct. Niggas don't think shit. Think invaders.
Living in a dream world, Neo.
Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn.
This is the world as it exists today.
Niggas envy Blicky got the stiffy got the blicky drumming for slippy No. No.
Have you ever known that you need to do something, but your brain just takes over and you end up doing everything else instead? Or even worse, nothing at all? Most people call that laziness, but it's not. It's procrastination. And it's not about being lazy, it's more about avoiding discomfort. You're really not putting off the task itself, you're actually putting off the feelings that come with it. And instead of facing the discomfort, we indulge in something else that distracts us and gives us a quick release. Or we might end up rationalizing our behavior. Like, I'm just scrolling YouTube for some inspiration, but the reality is that you're just postponing what actually matters. The problem is not that you don't know what to do, you kind of already know that, but the problem is that you're not doing it. That's why I wanted to make this video, to talk about why this happens and what you can do about it. From my experience, procrastination usually shows up for a few main reasons. The task feels boring, unclear, too hard, or sometimes it is overtaken by your addictions. So let's break that down. Number one, boring. This is the biggest one, but here's what most people miss. Your brain doesn't measure tasks by their objective entertainment value. It's always relative. If I spend 3 hours playing video games, then of course sitting down to plan my next video is going to feel boring in comparison. But if I instead spend those 3 hours on something calmer, like reading or journaling or going for a walk, then planning my next video doesn't feel so boring anymore. And this is where dopamine recalibration comes in. Because you need to recalibrate your brain so that things you normally procrastinate on actually feels exciting compared to not doing them. And I've made some videos talking about different forms of addictions that are super stimulating and that are just ruining your dopamine receptors. So I'll just link that video there. But in general, I think everyone can be honest with themselves and say that they are indulging in many activities that are just hyper-stimulating and are just ruining their dopamine receptors. The examples that come to the top of my mind is just constantly playing video games, constantly scrolling, junk food, binge watching Netflix shows, always on their phone, constantly switching and checking between apps, the news and music all the time, and just stuff of that nature. And if you want to be someone who can experience the joy of doing things that are productive and not procrastinate on doing them, then you need to recalibrate your mind. And what that includes is that you cut out those behaviors. There are many resources out there for you to go and learn and read about so that you can apply this to your life. But just be extremely honest, man. Note down the things that you're doing that are bad for you and just cut them out for a week and you'll see the difference. Just try it for a week. That's my challenge for you. And once you notice that, hey, I'm not procrastinating anymore, I'm actually way more productive and I'm enjoying it, then you can make it a standard part of your life. Number two is that the task feels unclear. A lot of the time is not that you don't know what to do, you just don't know how to do it. And that uncertainty feels heavy. What works for me, it's pretty simple. I just take a blank sheet of paper, sit alone with no distractions, and I just write down anything that comes to mind about the task. So there's like no filter, no structure, just the thoughts on paper. And it's crazy how effective it is because what felt unclear is now slowly starting to unfold right in front of you. For me, that might mean dealing with the structure of my next video. So I'll just jot down random words and ideas and eventually the whole picture starts to take shape. This obviously is more effective for bigger tasks like making a video or some big project at school or work. But you can apply it to the structure of your life as well, because if you notice that you're procrastinating at different points of the day, like once I get home from work, I tend to procrastinate more, then you can make it a project to kind of understand what is going on here. So you just jot down the thoughts, get a full image of the situation around you, and you just take concise action. Number 3 is that it feels too hard. And sometimes the task genuinely is difficult. There's no hack for that. And that's exactly why it matters. Because, like the gym, I might procrastinate going not because I don't enjoy training or that I don't know what to do, but because I'm just tired. It feels heavy. But that's the point. Growth is hidden in the hard. The greatness is in facing the difficulty and actually overcoming it. Because that's where strength is built, mentally and physically. So once you kind of done it enough times, once you kind of start to recognize and teach your brain to do the hard things, then you won't procrastinate on them anymore. I mean, if I made the challenge to go for a 10K run every day, right? So for the first day, I might be motivated and it might be super hard. And the second day, I might be so sore that I'm procrastinating on the sofa and telling myself that I'm just letting my legs rest, I'm just chilling a bit before the run. But if I actually just went out for the run and I did it another time, and then I did it the next day and the next day, then it would become so familiar to me that I wouldn't have this mental battle of procrastination. I would have gotten used to facing the discomfort so that it almost becomes a norm for me, which makes going out for the run so much easier. Number 4 is addictions, and this one is a little bit different because addictions are compulsive behavior that kind of take over and put themselves in your life whether you want them there or not. And when they show up, they kind of steal your time, energy and focus because it is by their nature. So they force you to procrastinate on the things that actually matters. So until you deal with the addiction, then you're always going to have these times in the day where you're just procrastinating without really wanting to. An example would be that you have a phone addiction, right? So you would sit down to do some work and then you just randomly grab your phone and just start to scroll, or you're feeling this itch or pull towards your phone and you really know that you shouldn't use it right now, but you can't help yourself. Or if you have a PMO addiction, like you might tell yourself that, okay, once I get home, I'm gonna start working on this project. But you just find yourself to have PMO, and now you feel depleted and tired, so you have no energy to do the thing that you need to do. So you're procrastinating, you're just slouching around, not doing it because the addiction kind of stepped in and took its place. Now, I tend to work with people who struggle with addictions, mainly PMO addiction, but I've been successful in helping people with other addictions as well. I'm gonna put a link in the description. If you're comfortable with that and feel like now is the time for me to take control and finally overcome my addiction, then you can check out the link in the description below. So here's the bottom line, guys. Procrastination is not a time management problem, it's not a laziness problem. You're not avoiding the task, you're avoiding the feeling around it. But if you face the boring, the unclear, the hard, and even confront the addiction that hijacks your brain, your time, your energy, and focus, then you can beat procrastination. Either way, if you want me to make another video about another topic, just leave it in the comments below. I'm trying to engage more with you guys. Like, I make a lot of Reddit posts and people there are commenting a lot of stuff, so I'm getting a lot of ideas, but I would like to get some more on YouTube. And I'm also developing this community that I will eventually present to you guys, where you can join and we will talk about addiction recovery, self-improvement, gym, no fat, all of that stuff. So either way, guys, take care. See you in the next one.